Welcome back, everybody, to the weekend show. I'll be doing the technical analysis on stock market. So before we get started, please hit that like button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, definitely consider subscribing. Now, if you want to go above and beyond, and especially with lots of volatility here in this market right now, and you want to support the channel, get daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, head over to Patreon, and that link will be down below in the description for you guys. And now let's get right into the market. All right, so welcome back once again, guys, and lots of things happening in the market. You can see the futures is down, but it was down more than what you're seeing on my screen, way more than that. And right now, the futures market definitely already recovering, and you can see oil is up 7.85%. I think it was up almost 9% at one point. You can see Dow futures drop 500 points after Trump announced its Strait of Hormuz blockade as talks fail in Pakistan. Now, what market did on Friday, you can see Dow was down 0.56%. We got Nasdaq going up 0.35%, S&P flat, and Russell also going down 0.24%, advancing 37%, declining 58%. Now, we do have a lot of earnings, starting with the banks, and then we also have big names like Johnson and Johnson. You got, ASML reporting earnings. Morgan Stanley, that's another one to watch for. You got TSMC, and then we have Netflix on a Thursday as well. And then, of course, we have more earnings coming up next week. Fear and greed index, you can see now it's at 38. We're still in fear, and we're not just coming out very quickly here this time. Now, a couple of things. If you look at 11 sectors, basic materials and technology led the way on Friday, consumer cyclical, real estate, and then you have energy, and the rest, they were actually in the red. Stock market map. A few things I want to point out. This big rally, especially led by Broadcom, AMD, Intel, and then we have Amazon. Google was slightly down, Meta flat. Nvidia was also leading, but you can see a lot of the things they were actually red when it comes to Friday's session last week. Big names, especially Microsoft and software names, you can see. I mean, these things are getting beaten down to death right now, and there is a lot of opportunities in these names because I think, yes, a lot of hype around AI, but I think software definitely not really going anywhere. So let's get started with S&P 500. All right, so SPY is down right now, but it was down even more. So we recovered already $4 on SPY. I think the futures market opened up at 670, 669, and now we're trading at 674. Now, a couple things I want to mention, guys, especially when we go back to last year's this big sell-off with the tariff. We bottomed here, and then we had a massive rally, the biggest rally here, right? And then we came back in, gave back. I mean, look at this. We retraced more than half of this candle. Like this is the half, but we went all the way down to like 508, 509 here on SPY, and then we went back up. What's different here in this case, especially with this rally? Now, people that are subscribed to my channel, you know that when the market goes up, especially near all-time highs, or if it's trading at all-time highs, a lot of people get bullish, and that's where I get bearish. I don't see any opportunity to the upside. But this is where you can see a lot of videos I made, big face ripper rally, trap and all that. Bears gonna get messed up. A lot of videos I made, and indeed we did bottom here in the short term, and we saw a massive face ripper rally. Everything that we bought on this dip where people were running for the door, we made a ton of money, especially on this gap up and go last week on Wednesday. And that's why you're seeing less videos, because I'm not out here to make money off of YouTube, guys. I just do this for passion, and a lot of you guys do support my channel, like my videos, and that is why I'm back. And you can see now that we had this V shape, we can afford a pullback. Uh, we have a catalyst, but so far you can see, I mean, dip buyers are doing a great job buying up the dip. Now, would I be buying this dip come tomorrow morning? Absolutely not. What I think it's more logical here, we get some sort of a pullback into the daily 200 SMA, 665, weekly expected move to the downside. Maybe we come in a little bit more. Maybe we fill the gap. That would be great because you can see a lot of rejection around that area, 660, 659, around that gap. And if it comes in and people get bearish here, and then this thing takes a U-turn, that would be a fantastic opportunity. And we get that pullback that I was showing you guys last year. But it does not mean that it has to happen, right? Right now, market already recovered like $4, $5 on SPY. I think Q's even more, and then Dow Jones, same thing. So watch out tomorrow, depending on where we open. You can see we're opening here around that 50-day moving average. If we open here, good, watch if that can hold. If not, watch bottom of this candle. That's going to be around 671 to even the 5-day moving average right here, which is at 670. If that gives up, maybe we come in here at 665, and then we can talk about this gap 659 to the upside. If we open here, or maybe at break even where we closed on Friday, then watch out for that 681 to break 682 here in this case. If we can get over that, you're going to see push towards that all-time high once again here on SPY ETF. But with the news and oil going up like this, I'm not really that bullish here in this market, especially the way we came back up with this V shape. I think market needs to cool off. Market needs to understand what's happening with oil market. And then if the market finds a nice, higher low here, everything, looks good, especially when it comes to the war, which is not looking good, right? We don't have a deal. They were in Pakistan, and now everybody's back, and there is no deal, right? So the ceasefire probably not gonna hold up. And it's not even holding up anyway. It just is, ceasefire to possibly bring, oil down, but now oil is up. So we'll see how the market reacts tomorrow on that news. So Triple Q was trading at 600 just a moment ago, and now it's trading at 606. So insane move. There is support at 606. You can see it right here, this orange line. And if we get underneath that level, maybe we retest. And we were here at 600. You can see the 50-day and the 5-day sitting right here at 600. So if we open here, yes, great. That is a buying opportunity. But as long as the support holds, if that gives up, we could be landing down to 594, maybe into the gap, 588. And that is the level that I'm watching. To the upside, if we can open here at 606, watch out. If that holds, we might be going back up for the gap fill here. And especially with this kind of, news, nobody knows how we're going to actually open tomorrow. Right now, it's down 0.82%, not even 1%, guys. I mean, with all that bad news, you would think that market would be going down like, how the market came back up like 3-4% in just a matter of 2 days or one day with that ceasefire news. Now that we have really bad news that no deal is going on and the talks are just, gone, right? Nothing happening between US, Iran, and especially Israel. So what's going on? We're back to whatever was happening before, like, just keep hitting each other with, bombs and stuff, and Strait of Hormuz is closed, right? Oil is not flowing through that, waterway. So we'll see how that plays out. Sometime market needs time to digest, but so far, I mean, I got to give it to the bulls. They're doing a great job. I mean, it was trading at 600. Now you can see 606. So we'll see how things open, but keep in mind we came back up too fast. On this V-shaped rally, we can afford a pullback, and if we get a pullback, this is not really a pullback that I'm looking at. I would say maybe at least as 600 to 594 halfway, partially gap full here. That would be bullish indication that yes, market wants to fill the gap, but bulls are buying up the dip. But this is even more crazy right now that futures market dropping just a tiny here, and they're already coming here like hyenas and eating up that dip. So I don't know how things are going to actually play out tomorrow, guys. It's gonna be a tricky one. So if you're trading, please have a look at your especially intraday, flow. see what whales are buying, if they're actually bullish, and watch. If you have traded ticks, watch and see if there is a lot of call flow or put flow. If there is a lot of put flow, obviously we will go down tomorrow. On Dow, it was actually down 0.55% with CRM and a lot of the software names going up big time. And you can see Dow now trading here right about this 476 support. We're just slightly underneath that, but only down $4. I mean, it was 450, and now we're trading at 480, 482 on Thursday and then Friday here. We just backed off like 0.5%. That's nothing. So we can afford a pullback. Watch out that 476 does not hold. There will be support, and right here that rising 5-day moving average. That's around 474.7. Underneath that, Dow can come in and fill this gap at 466. If we remain where we're trading right now, watch out for a gap fill to the upside. Definitely that can happen early as tomorrow morning. We're only down $4, so I don't know what to say. I mean, even with all that bad news, market is not going down. Market does not care about what's happening. So we'll see if the world market actually puts a stop to this rally. Market can take a backseat for maybe day or two, and we get some sort of a higher low here in this market before the rally resumes. Now, IWM also down, but just over 1%, nothing really big. We're nowhere near the gap, which is at 253, and we do have support at 258, and looks like it's holding up in futures market. Right here, you can see rejection, support, support, support. We went over, and now it's finding support once again, 258. We do have support at 256. Underneath that, this gap fill can act as a support. Now, to the upside, if this thing can hold up here at 258 or maybe partially filling the gap somewhere around 256, as long as I would say we remain over this, 253 support, 252, I think we will come back up and fill this gap and possibly will go on and hit another new all-time high. But that depends, especially what's happening with war news and oil market. On VIX, it was down 1.33%, and we're just trading at 19. You can see trading actually at the lower Bollinger Band on this daily time frame. And finally, we talked about it before in my video that this trend line will break. It broke last week, and now we're under this trend line. We do have a gap here around 25, 26. So if we come back up, we would be just filling the gap. So watch out. That would create a lot of opportunity. But if this thing stays over, I would say, 20 plus, then I would be really cautious here in this market, buying up those dips too quick, too soon, and then you're finding yourself in a lot of pain. So VIX definitely signaling a move back up to the upside. We just got to keep our eyes open to the market, see if the market can recover with the gap down, and if the VIX gets a rejection after filling the gap here on top. One more thing I want to show you guys, that RSP here, you can see what happened Friday. SPY did not really go down that much, and Qs and everything else was pretty much holding up, right? RSP was down, guys, and we did not get over the 50 SMA. You can see 198-ish. We got rejection there, and we came back in and closed at 196. So the breadth wasn't really good. A lot of the stocks, they were not going up, even though market held up. Another thing I want to point out, that HYG was also down, and we pretty much, I mean, look at here, guys. 79.57 overnight, 79.74. That's the gap from Wednesday. So if this thing is filling this gap, guess what? SPY will come in at some point. Maybe not tomorrow, and who knows, maybe tomorrow. But keep that in mind. Buying this dip, yes, that's going to be a nice area to buy the dip. I'm not talking about HYG, but on SPY. But you have to be really cautious buying the dip, because if the market takes a turn again and we take out that low, like what, 629, 630, we could be going for that monthly support, which is going to be previous all-time highs around 610 to 613. So keep that in mind, and I hope you guys enjoy your trading and enjoy your night, and I'll see you guys in the next one.